Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 2 of my massive product empties decluttering video. If you haven't watched part 1 already, I'll link it up above. In that video we go through all of my skincare empties, and today we are talking hair, makeup, and miscellaneous, which is mainly perfumes, body butters, and lotions. So I absolutely love doing product empty videos, and I'd save all my beauty products, but I was going through beauty products faster than I was filming, so that is the reason for part 1 and part 2. I'm trying to clear out the whole entire stash that I've accumulated and have moved forward with monthly updates over on TikTok. If you don't follow me there, I'll leave it down below, but it's Leave It to Leah. And I think at the end of the year, I'll do a big compilation of like all 12 months and then make it a YouTube video. We got a lot of products to go through, so let's get into it. We're gonna start off with hair care, and to make my life easy, I've got the bag. I'm gonna just pull stuff out. Okay, I don't use a lot of hairspray, so I've had this forever. I think I literally bought this when I was in university, which is over 5 years ago. This is a Pantene air spray. I do think they do sell this still, but it's in different packaging. I'm not like the biggest fan of this one. It is a touch crunchy. It's like really great if you're doing like elaborate hairstyles and really don't want your hair to move, but if you're doing more like bouncy beachy waves, it really is crunchy. Doesn't look the greatest. I really do like the smell of it. It smelled very nice. Like Pantene products. Purchase something else just because I think there's better on the market. Okay, I am certain that I've finished more of these. I just didn't bother to keep them. But I think 6 is enough to demonstrate my love. This is a Maui shampoo and conditioner. I don't know how many of these are shampoo and conditioner. The bottle's like the exact same. But yeah, this is the Curl Quench plus coconut oil line. It is my favorite shampoo and conditioner. Here we go. Shampoo and conditioner. They are both sulfate and silicone free, which is really good for curly wavy hair. I find that it is hydrating and leaves my hair feeling really soft and smells really nice. The conditioner can be a little bit more on the runny side compared to some other conditioners, so because of that I like to use a more deep conditioner mask once a week. But yeah, for curly, sulfate and silicone free, this is the best that I found at the drugstore. It's pretty affordable compared to some other ones, so that's why I like to buy it so much, because shampoo and conditioner I like to get more affordable. So I highly recommend, and I've already repurchased. Okay, we've got 2 mousses here. I'm still on the hunt for my favorite mousse. This is the Aussie Instant Volume 24-hour volume mousse, and this is a Function of Beauty wavy hair zero gravity styling mousse, which this I find hard to find. In my hair, use a leave-in conditioner first for hydration, and then the mousse for me is kind of what really gives the shape and definition to my hair, and then I like to set it with a gel, and the gel kind of helps with the like longevity. So for me, a really good mousse is what like is important, because it kind of gives shape to my wavy curly hair. Function of Beauty one, at first I didn't really like it because it's not really like your classic mousse. It's more like a foam, but once I kind of like figured it out, it was fine. And then after switching to it, I kind of missed it. It's really much more of a wave though than like a tight curl. So if you're like a wavy hair person, I think you would really like this. But if you're looking more for like a defined curl, you're not gonna get that as much for this one. This one, on the other hand, definitely gave me that like tighter curl, but I found that it didn't really hold very well. Yeah, overall I really liked it. My notes said that I think this is on the good end of drugstore mousses that I tried. I would recommend it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to repurchase it. I think I like You're Not Your Mother's just a little bit more. I should have reversed my order. I should have talked about my leave-ins first. Okay, so the Briogeo one I know is a very big fan favorite with curly hair girls online. It's supposed to help with frizz, boost hydration, minimize frizz, and provide a flexible control for waves and curls. I definitely noticed that it helped minimize the frizz, but it wasn't the most hydrating leave-in that I've ever used. Yeah, I really like that it was a squeezy 2 package. That's like my favorite way to apply my leave-in, is kind of like put it into my hand and then like rake it through my hair. So the squeezy 2 helped with that. It has a really nice scent. It was good. It was good. I definitely would try it again. I love trying curly hair product until I find like the favorites. I'm currently going through and retesting two of my favorites. So I'm using the Living Proof one, and I also want to go back and try the Way one and kind of like, you know, try and figure out which one is like my favorite. But I'm also always open to trying new ones, including this Not Your Mother's one. This one is sulfate and silica free, and it's affordable compared to a couple of the other ones I just mentioned. I would say though that this is more a really good detangling spray than it is a leave-in conditioner. As mentioned, I always use it first and like rake it through, so I found that it was really helpful through raking through my hair. So if you have like very knotty hair, then I think you'd really like this leave-in. But in terms of like nourishing properties, it is the most nourishing that I've used compared to some other leave-ins. I just prefer something like the Briogeo one compared to this Not Your Mother's one. Also, I'm not a huge fan of like the spray. Like, it's fine. Like, usually what I do is I spray a little bit on my hair, but then I spray it in my hands to make sure I like really work it in. So I prefer a squeeze tube over the spray bottle. I'm also still on the hunt for a good hair mask, and this one wasn't it for me. This is a Shea Moisture silicone free miracle mask. It had a really strange scent to it. I did not like the scent, and you like really smell it when it's in your hair. Thankfully it doesn't like linger afterwards, but yeah, not my favorite scent. It left my hair feeling soft, but not the soft I wanted. This might be a little niche, but if you've ever had your hair in like lake water, like very like soft water, you know that your hair kind of gets that like weird softness to it where it's like not necessarily like clean but still soft. That's kind of the feeling that it gave my hair when I use this mask. Not the like silky soft, like a gummy soft, if that makes any sense. Not for me. I won't be repurchasing. Okay, we got a dry shampoo. I don't really use dry shampoo that often, just because to refresh my curls, I wash my hair usually every other day. So for that reason, I don't really reach for dry shampoo a lot. So that's why I had this one forever. Yeah, it's fine. Batiste shampoos are kind of known for being like, you know, not the best one out there. And it's also known for leaving a really strong white cast, which is definitely true. I remember I had used the brown haired version in the past and like that more. I would probably repurchase this again in the future just because I don't use dry shampoo a lot. Sometimes I don't want to invest in a really good one, but I did buy a different dry shampoo. I can't remember which one I bought, but I didn't repurchase this one. Okay, and then we're finishing off with two hair oils. I've been trying to get into doing like a scalp oil once a week. This I was using wrong. This Lifestyle Co. Detox hair serum. I thought it was like one that you put in your hair and rinse out, but apparently it's not. So I can't really say if this did a good job then because I was using it incorrectly. But yeah, it has a really strong scent. Not necessarily a bad scent, just a very strong scent. So I definitely like noticed it in my hair. The dropper really wasn't the best. Like, it's supposed to like stay in the glass before you squeeze it. It wouldn't stay. It would just like leak out, which is kind of annoying when you're trying to like put it in your hair and then it's like falling down your face and everything. So also the fact that it's like $80 US, I wouldn't recommend. And then I had this sample of the Fable and Mane Hollywood's hair oil and I liked it. The applicator made it easy to apply. Unlike the other one, it didn't leak all over the place. Except for I do think that the full size might have different packaging. I didn't use it consistently, so it's really hard for me to tell if it like actually made a difference in my hair or if it's just a placebo effect. Similar to the other one, it definitely has a strong scent. Not bad, just strong, but it just meant that like whenever I wore it, I could smell it. Usually I like to hair oil when I go to Pilates because it's like an hour and then I come back and I have my everything shower. It just meant that like during Pilates I would smell it. Yeah, overall I liked it. This is a second hair oil. Like, these are the first two hair oils I've ever tried, so it's really hard for me to gauge if this is a good one for me and my hair type when I'm still like new to using it. But overall I liked it. I would consider purchasing it again in the future. Let me take a sip of my tea. Okay, bag number one done. Now we're moving on to bag number two, which is makeup. I mentioned this in my last video, but I do get a beauty subscription box still, and that's where some of these random brands come from, including $1 Billion Brows. We got two products from them. This is their waterproof micro brow pencil, and then this is their brow conditioner. I don't think I'm the right person for the brow conditioner because I have very naturally thick eyebrows, and I don't want them to grow. They like grow too fast for me, in my opinion. I feel like I'm always having to get them done, so I don't need something that helps my brows grow faster. Then we have their brow pencil. It worked. I was very lucky that I got the right shade for me, but also, to be fair, I have dark eyebrows. It's pretty easy to shade match. But actually, no. Yeah, this is a shade taupe, which worked perfectly for me, which means that like it's not really a taupe because I traditionally use a dark brown, so their shades are a little off. I like their spoolie. It was very like stiff, if you can see, like super stiff, so it's very good for brushing out the brows. It's not the most accessible brow pencil to get. My three favorites are the NYX brow pencil, drugstore, and then two that you can get at Sephora, the Benefit, and also your Beverly Hills one. So that's a pass for me. I'm not going to stay here long because this is a discontinued product, but I just wanted to show that I did finish the foundation. Very exciting. Smashbox Studio Skin 15-hour wear hydrating foundation. This was actually really good. I would have considered repurchasing it, but they had discontinued it. I do sometimes finish face products. It takes forever, but it does happen. Next, we have two concealers, another impressive thing. This is the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Concealer. I bought the wrong shade, so this was a face concealer for me. I never used it under the eyes, but I cannot say whether or not it's good underneath the eyes. I will tell you that was pretty good for face, considering especially that that's like a hydrating one, so sometimes like hydrating, I would think that it would like move around a lot. I would definitely repurchase this. I actually got a concealer in my BoxyCharm that is too light for my under eyes, and I'm using it on my face. So I don't need another face concealer right now, but I would consider picking this up again in the future. And for reference, this is Light Sand. You can see the difference with this one, that this is way too dark for underneath my eyes when I use this underneath my eyes. Actually, to be fair, this is also a shade I didn't pick up. This is a real throwback to 20, or was it 2021? No, 2020, when I worked at Sephora. COVID years always screw me up, but I did work at Sephora for 2 months. I got hired during the holiday season, and then there was a lockdown after the holidays and they had to let me go. But this was one of the few gratis that I actually got with this concealer, and the girl did a pretty good job of picking out my shade, even though it did lean a little yellow for me. This is a shade Fondant. Yes, it was a good concealer because it's like a serum one. Did I say the name? This is a Bright Future Gel Serum concealer. It was very like dewy underneath the eyes, so if you had like more dry under eyes, you'd probably like this. But because of the like dewiness, it also was like a little creasy. This is what I find the issue is that you get something that's like dewy and creamy, so then it doesn't look dry underneath your eyes, but then it instantly creases. It's very hard. But overall, this was a nice concealer. I do think this is actually discontinued as well. That seems to be the case with me and face products, is that I buy something, but it takes forever to finish, and then by the time I finish it, it's discontinued. We got one powder. This is Maybelline Fit Me powder. I've gone through a couple of these. This is probably my favorite pressed powder, which actually kind of need a little bit more. This is another one I'm trying to finish up. I'm getting so close. I have like way too many powders, so I'm trying to be really good about finishing my powders before buying new ones. I'm trying to finish that Wet n Wild one, so then I can buy this one again because I like it more. It's just like so smooth of a powder, and it makes my face look so smooth and not cakey. Yeah, as just like an oily skin girl, this is just like one of the best ones. I've literally been purchasing this, I think, since 2016. I will say that the packaging is a little bulky to like carry around, but it actually is kind of really nice because it does have a mirror inside, and I think it comes with a powder puff, so it is pretty good if you want to like put it in your purse or something like that, because then you can have the mirror and the puff, and because it's like drugstore, you're not afraid if it like breaks or something like that. So I've definitely traveled a lot with this one as well, and it's affordable. Did I mention that? It's affordable. This is not a discontinue, this is a declutter, that's a word. This is Lord Daler Baked Blush. Yeah, the color is really beautiful, and I actually use a decent amount of it. You kind of see there's like a little dent in the center. The only thing is that I kind of like don't use it for a while, and then I use it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is like why I don't use it. It has this really strong sheen to it. I think you can even see it. in the packaging, which just unfortunately for me, just I find it really emphasizes texture on my skin. It's kind of one of those things where like in photos or if you're further away, it kind of looks nice. When you're like up close, I'm like, you just see all of my pores, and I'm over it. I'm over it, so I'm decluttering it. Okay, we've got a bajillion mascaras. Mascara is one of the products that I am very good about decluttering, just because I know that like a bad mascara is like bad for your eyes, and also they kind of just like dry up and stuff. So I get rid of mascara after a year. I think you're supposed to do every 3 months, which if you're buying expensive mascaras, like that's too soon. Sometimes they take a couple of months to like get good. Anyways, a year for me is like how long I keep my mascara before I throw it out. And I've developed a system where I put a little sticky thing on my mascara, so that way I know, okay, now it's time to get rid of my mascara. That being said, I was really bad and I had way too many mascaras open at one point. I think I had like 10 because I would like get a mascara, especially in my BoxyCharms. I was getting mascaras like every single month, it seemed. And also, it was really cute. Sometimes my mom will buy me new mascaras just because she sees them at the drugstore and she's like, oh, here you go, here's a new mascara. So for that reason, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, one more. 12 mascaras. I've become a lot better. Now I only allow myself to have 5 mascaras open at a time, which is still a lot of mascaras. But anyways, we're gonna try and go through this quickly. Tarte Maneater mascara. This is technically the waterproof version. I don't really like waterproof mascaras because I find that they're a pain to get rid of, like when you're removing them at the end of the day. That being said, this gives pretty good length. Not the best volume. Pretty good everyday mascara. On the drier side, I don't have issues with flaking, but I could see if you're someone who deals with flakiness, this might flake a lot on you. Overall, not bad, not the best. Next, we have the Pure Big Look mascara. This isn't a very good mascara. It applies very wet, but then it dries and then gets very flaky throughout the day. And I'm someone who usually doesn't deal with flakiness, and this flaked on me. It definitely has pretty good length, absolutely no volume. I like a real balance of the two. I found I was never reaching for this. I mean, to be fair, I had like 10 mascaras open, but I never reached for this. Wouldn't recommend or repurchase. This is a mini, so I don't know, maybe the mini formula wasn't very good and that's why I didn't like it. But this is a Huda Beauty One Coat Wow. It was supposed to be volumizing and I found it was more of a lengthening mascara, so I didn't think the claims were right. Doesn't hold a curl. That's also a really big thing for me. My eyelashes don't hold a very good curl, so I need something that helps hold the curl, and this didn't do it. I won't be repurchasing. This is an Il Makiage Icon High Volume and Intense Curl Mascara. It did not do that. It had some really good length and separation, but barely any volume, and it didn't hold a curl. I always got mascara all over my eyes when I used it, and also was such a pain to remove. So I won't be repurchasing. Next we have the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift, which is the one that all the drama with Michaela, I forget her last name, on TikTok was about. This mascara, it actually was a pretty good mascara. It gave really good length and volume. Really good volume at like the base too, but it didn't look clumpy. After like having it for a year, it was still looking really good. I really liked it. I feel like L'Oreal always does really good mascaras, so I would definitely repurchase this one. Next we have the One Size Fantasize mascara. I decluttered it actually before it was even done a year because I didn't really like it. I got it in my Sephora advent calendar. I wasn't a fan. When I first opened it, it was very dry and it just got drier from there. So if you like dry mascaras, maybe you like this, but I don't really. I prefer a little bit more of a wetter formula. It also just got like flaky over time. Like I said, I don't really deal with like flakiness, but I had issues with this one. Gives length but barely any volume. I didn't like it. I wouldn't repurchase or recommend. On the opposite side of the spectrum, this is the Rodial XXL mascara, and this was too wet for me, so I kind of just got like wet mascara everywhere. It was also very clumpy because of that, so it felt like I have like 4 eyelashes, and it was really hard to get off at the end of the day. The one pro is that it's very black mascara, so if you're someone who really likes dark intense and prefers clumpiness, then maybe you like it, but it wasn't my fave and I won't be repurchasing. Next we have the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara. This is one of my favorites actually. Was a repurchase, So, you know, that's pretty good when I repurchase something. This is a really good day-to-day lengthening mascara. It definitely gives a really good length without being too clumpy. Very natural, easy to build. It's a little bit on the drier side. I didn't have any issues with flakiness, but I could maybe see some people having issues with that. But I don't have an issue with that, or like smudging. I didn't have any issues with that mascara. Overall, I really liked it and I would repurchase it in the future. Then we have the Sephora Big Wide Definition Mascara. This was fine, nothing special. I use this a lot when traveling because it was a mini size, but sometimes I wish I had brought like a different mascara because it's a very like natural. It was good for every day, but if I was like going out, I kind of wanted something more. I just found that it didn't really hold a curl very well, so I found that my like lashes were kind of just like weighed down by the end of the day. So it was fine, but I wouldn't repurchase. Another one of my favorites is the Ilia volumizing mascara. I know a lot of people really like the lengthening one. I've yet to try it, but the volumizing one is really, really good too. Yeah, it just gave me very like full lashes. Like they were like long and volumized without being too clumpy. My only complaint is that the brush is like really, really huge. And so because of that, I would get like mascara all over my eyelid. I would always have to clean it up, but it looked beautiful. So I really liked it. I would recommend and I would repurchase. This is our Galactic Lash Play Duo. So it actually has two sides. So it has this like little itty bitty side and then a regular like full length side. Yeah, it was really, really wet mascara. So I found it was very clumpy. And because it was also wet, I just found that it like weighed down my lashes and it didn't hold a curl. I liked the idea of the small detail brush, but because it was so wet, it would just get like mascara all over my bottom lash line. So I would not be repurchasing. And then finally, this is a Essence Lash Princess. This, I can't remember the last time I had used this mascara before. I definitely had used it. Like this is not my first time using an Essence mascara. I can't remember though if it was like this one or like the purple one that I used. This is a really good lengthening mascara and it's not too clumpy, but near the end of the year I definitely found that it was like becoming expired because it was definitely like flaking on me. It's not one that lasts as well as some of the other ones, but for a really affordable drugstore mascara, this was a really good one, and I definitely would consider purchasing some of the Essence mascaras again in the future. Woo! That was a lot of mascara. And then I have two lashes here. There you go. You can't really see them very well. These ones I've actually don't have the lashes because I threw them out. It was definitely time. It was Halloween. I was staying over last minute at my friend's place and I was wearing my lashes and I was like, you know, I've had these lashes for a while. I don't have anywhere to store them. I'll just throw them out. But yeah, these Ardell ones are my favorite. The Faux Mink Demi Wispy. They are very easy to apply and you can reuse them. I reuse them a bunch of times and they just look really good. And whenever I wear them, I always get compliments, but also people are like, are you wearing false lashes? Like they can't tell, which is what I want nowadays with my false lashes. I want it to look good, but it's not like really obvious. Like, you know, like people are like questioning if I'm wearing false lashes. That's the kind of vibe that I'm going for. So yeah, I really like these and they're affordable. And if you're someone who doesn't like to rewear, they have like packs, but I rewear my lashes a bunch. I have two different ones here. I've already repurchased. We have 3 setting sprays, starting off with a good one. This is a Milani Make It Last. This is one I've had for years and years. This is a pretty good drugstore one. It makes your face look like matte, not like too matte. So I actually really liked using this. I was using really like dewy makeup, then I'd go out with this and then it kind of makes like really nice even balance. Some people say this is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury one. I actually like this one way better. I'm not a fan of the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, but this one is pretty good. I didn't repurchase it just because I have some other ones in my collection, but I would still recommend it. This one, Ilamasca, was actually pretty good, but then the spray broke and I hate when that happens, so I wouldn't recommend that. And then we have this NYX Radiant Finish one, another one that I have repurchased because it's a pretty good drugstore one. I do think they've updated the formula recently and I don't like it as much as I did previously. I just noticed that there's, especially like when you get near the bottom, there's like glitter and I like really see it on my face now that I was near the end. I'm just like kind of underwhelmed with this like last bottle I had compared to some other ones I have in the past. So I actually decided to get the NYX Marshmallow one, which is a completely different one, and I'll talk about that another time. But yeah, I finished that one. Okay, and then we have a couple lip balms because I had so much in my skincare that I was like, well, I'll just talk about lip balms here, also because I don't have any other lip products. This Koya Life one is probably the worst lip balms I've ever used. It just comes out separated, an oil with like waxy beads, so it's just not very good. I don't know if it just expired or something, but this one was not good. Then we got this Nars Laguna one. No, this is their Afterglow lip balm in the shade Laguna, which is like a bronzy shade. I feel like if someone had like a darker skin tone, it would look a lot better on them than it did for me. It's definitely not the most like long lasting lip balm. I find you kind of have to like reapply it a lot, but overall it was good. I kept it at work. It was a good like desk lip balm. I wouldn't recommend it though because I think there's just like better lip balms on the market, including this one. This is the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. This one is specifically in the berry one, but I have the mango one right now. I've used the pear one before. This is like a repurchase. I think this is one of my favorite lip balms. Lip balms are super big on the market right now, and this one has been out for a while, and I find that this formula is different compared to some of the like lip balms that you see nowadays. It's much like glossy and hydrating, but not like super high shine or like super opaque color or anything like that. I think it's just like a good lip balm. I keep this where all my skincare is because I like to put it on after I do my skincare. It's a great like everyday lip balm. Like I said, I've repurchased it. I'm currently using the mango one. I'm almost onto that one too. So I have the Ola Hendrickson one over there they'll probably replace, but I think in the future I definitely would repurchase this one. Break to answer some text messages, and then we're gonna finish with miscellaneous. Oh, this is gonna be such a long video. Now we're finishing off with miscellaneous, anything that's like beauty related but not skincare, hair care, makeup. So starting off, we have a body scrub. This is a Tree Hut Shea Sugar Scrub. It's funny because I mentioned previously when reviewing these and I was like, it's okay, maybe I would repurchase, maybe I wouldn't, and then I didn't repurchase it, and it's now available in Canada, which is really nice. It's a good scrub. It's just not the most like grittiest one that I've ever used because I really do like a gritty one, but I've actually used some other scrubs since that are just not good, which makes this one seem better in comparison. Yeah, I think I will eventually probably go back and purchase them. They also just like smell really good. They're very sweet, so if you don't like sweet stuff, you don't like them. It was good. I really need to go back and try the Dove scrubs because I haven't used those in a while and I kind of want to like compare. We've got a bajillion body lotions because if you don't know me, I love my body lotions. It is something I think was during the pandemic or even before. I just got like into using them, especially really nice ones. The whole entire idea of like, you know, simple small luxuries. Body lotion makes sense to invest more money in compared to a body wash or something, because body lotion is something that like stays on your skin. It can add some like fragrance. It could really help moisturize your skin. So that's why I'm fine with paying a little bit more. But yeah, actually this is a body scrub. So let's go back to scrubs before we get into lotion. This is the Lauren's Vanilla Almond Scrub. I like the scent, but it was very faint. Like when you put your nose to it, it smells really good, but you don't really smell it in the shower. It was a good scrub, not too soft, not too scratchy. It's not really the most accessible thing to repurchase, so I won't repurchase it. Now let's get into body lotions. First, this is the Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow Body Lotion. Good smelling ones are a really big deal to me, and this does not smell good. It's just, I find that with these like AHA like scrubs, you always smell the active ingredients. So to me, this smells very medicinal, you know, like honey scented medicine. That's kind of what it smells like. So it's not necessarily the most pleasant experience. I also don't really notice a big difference with like the AHAs making a difference in my skin. Maybe if I was to use it regularly, I would notice a difference, but I don't. So for that reason, I wouldn't repurchase. We got one Sol de Janeiro one. I love Sol de Janeiro. I definitely recommend them because I just find that their products smell really good and they feel really good. This specifically is a Bon Dia Bright Cream. I will put the notes because I definitely don't remember them. At the time of writing my notes, I said this is one of my favorites, and actually it's probably, if I were to rate them, probably my like third favorite. I have two that I like more, the original and the purple one, but this one is still really good. It's very moisturizing, and I also brought a mini of this to me when I went to Portugal, so like whenever I use it, I just always like am reminded of that trip. I've already repurchased. I just love Sol de Janeiro ones. Up next, we have this Gloss Modern Clean Luxury one. I got this in a boxy charm. So for that reason, I probably won't repurchase just because it's not the most accessible to get, but I did really enjoy it. They actually call this their Universal. It's very like gender neutral scent. So for that reason, I kind of really liked it. It's not too like sweet or anything like that. Very like unisex. It was a nice one. I really liked the consistency of it too. I'm not going to order it from their site and pay all the shipping and duties and tax and all that stuff. So I really do like the Lush ones. This is their Sleepy. This has been one that I've like repurchased for quite a while. I've been getting this since university. This is their like lavender and tonka. It just smells so good. I am usually a shower in the morning type of person, but every once in a while I shower at night or I have a bath, and then I always put this on and it just gets me into like sleepy time vibes. It's also very like rich as well. It has very like thick consistency, but not too thick where you're like spending forever trying to blend it into your skin. So yeah, this is gonna be a forever repurchase for me. This is probably one of my favorites besides the Sol de Janeiro ones. This is probably my favorite body lotion at the moment. This is a Tree Hut Vanilla Whipped Shea Body Butter. Oh my god, it just smells so good. Oh, it smells like vanilla frosting. It's divine. It is kind of sweet, but I like it. It's a perfect consistency where it's not too thick. It kind of like blends and absorbs quickly into the skin, but still leaves me feeling like very hydrated after. I always get really good, lots of compliments whenever I wear this, and because of it's vanilla, it pairs well really nicely with like other perfumes, because it's something that I try and keep in mind if I'm wearing a certain lotion and then I'm gonna put on a perfume. Like, does it match? Does it clash? And I feel like vanilla goes well with a lot of things. The only really sad thing is that Tree Hut, their lotions aren't in Canada yet, and you can only get it in the States. Yeah, this is really good. I actually had a second Sleepy. I have two of them. Okay, we got two L'Occitane Amande products. We've got the body oil and the shower oil. I like the smell of both of these. They both smell divine. They're both so great for your skin. L'Occitane products are just really good. And if you know me, you know the milk concentrate. This one is like holy grail. One of my favorites. Okay, like my top 3 body lotions are Sol de Janeiro, this one, and the Tree one. I prefer getting the body lotion over the shower oil, because in my mind, the shower oil, you just use it and then you wash it down the drain. So I'm like, what's the point of using an expensive one? The body oil is pretty good too. I just find that I don't always use body oils. I only use body oils when I like really want to like feel nice and soft, but for like everyday use, because like I said, I shower in the morning. I usually don't have the time to do both. So yeah, for that reason, I didn't repurchase. I decided to it smells so good. I have a couple other body oils that I need to like finish up, but this line, you can't go wrong. I do have one more shower gel, the Sol de Janeiro. This is a Bum Bum Cream scent, and basically my feelings are the same of this one with the L'Occitane one. It smells absolutely divine, will leave your skin feeling clean and soft, but I'd rather spend the money on the lotion shower gel. And I got one more shower gel. This is the Philosophy. Yes, this is a Philosophy Senorita Margarita one. And yeah, it's just like more affordable. So it's like a nice way to be able to get the like nicer, funner scents. I know funner isn't a word, but you can get the like fun ones at a more affordable price. And this one was really good. It smells really good. I love margaritas. That was like the whole entire joke. And it just smells like lime and like a little salty and stuff. So this one was really good. We got 2 hand creams, another one of the L'Occitane ones. The almond scent is just so good. I actually prefer this one over the like classic one, because I find the classic one is like really thick, but it almost makes your hands greasy afterwards, so you can't like pick up anything. I prefer this one. The formula is a little less thick, but because of that, it's a little less greasy. This is a moisturizer. Technically, this is in the wrong category. I'm not gonna talk about it now. We have a perfume. It has been discontinued, so it won't stay here too long. This is actually one of the first perfumes I bought myself way back when I was a teenager. This is a Marc Jacobs Mode Noir. You can't get it anymore. I mean, Marc Jacobs Beauty. Do they still do their perfumes? Yes, they do, because they still have Daisy. Yeah, it's very like sophisticated green. I really do like a green floral perfume. My favorites are usually like, I like sweet vanilla. I like a spicy one in the fall. I really like orange and citrus, and then I like really green floral. Green, yuzu, clementine, gardenia, water lily, tuberose, magnolia, nectarine, orange blossom, and musk. So you got those like green, gardenia, aquatic, floral. Yeah, it was just really good. It just didn't wear very well. You didn't really kind of smell good when you applied it, and it didn't last throughout the day. But yeah, that's this one. And then finally, I had a self-tan. I don't use self-tan a lot, but this one was pretty good. This is a Saint Tropez self-tan classic. Yeah, it was easy to apply. It was a mousse. I was able to like buff it into my skin. I have come to the conclusion that I always smell bad with self-tanners. So obviously I smell really bad, but I try and do this at night. That way I like sleep and I don't smell it on me. I didn't really have any issues with it of like looking too orange or issues with my hands, but I also didn't find that it was like really in your face, like wow, she's tanned when I used it. So yeah, I have a bunch of like self-tanner that I have just kicking around because I thought for a while that it was like the self-tanners that I was using that was making me smell bad, not that all self-tanners make me smell bad. So for that reason, I have a couple kicking around that I need to finish, but I would consider purchasing this in the future. And that's it. Oh my god, that was so long. I talked for so long. I know this video is gonna be so long, so I hope you enjoyed whatever snack or little drinky drink that you had while watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see future product empties, like I said, go to my YouTube. No, if you're on my YouTube channel, go to my TikTok. But yeah, if you used any of these products, let me know what you thought of them in the comments, or if you have any recommendations, especially hair related, like mousses, hair mask, hair gels. I'm always looking for new hair products. Leave them in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this one. Coming up soon is going to be my birthday vlog. I had originally wanted to try and vlog again before the birthday vlog, but it just didn't happen. I mean, I wanted to get this video up sooner, but it just didn't happen because I was just busy. But yeah, the next video is going to be the birthday week vlog, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on it. Please like this video if you want to see more beauty related content from me. Lots of exciting stuff coming up in the spring. I got some traveling. It's all going to be a great time. So yeah, I hope you stick around for all of that. But that is it for today's video, friends, and I'll see you in another one super soon.